And we are live.
Mhm.
Hello, hello. Hi, Nono. How are you?
I'm good. And you?
Very good. Thank you. We are Fernanda Nis and Nuno, and today again, we're going to talk about some of the skills or techniques or concepts that we work in the Rose Meditation. As you know, we are teachers at the Rose Meditation School, and today we are going to talk about strength in a wide meaning.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's strength for you, Nuno?
Ah, how much time do I have to
Uh,
answer
I would say
that?
30 minutes.
I think the first thing that we think about strength is
Mhm,
physical strength. Okay,
mhm,
being strong, being resistant
mhm.
somehow, having the ability to
Hold.
hold things, support things, go over things.
Mhm,
I
mhm,
think we always think about that word as
mhm,
that definition. Okay, we start as physical, but of course we can have a lot of mental resilience and other types of strengths
mhm.
as well. But I think the first answer will be strength,
Physical
physical strength.
strength, the ability to hold or to stand things. True, true.
Mhm.
And as you already said, there are other different kinds of strength, like will. When you want to do something, you can be strong in
Mhm.
another areas that not just the physical one. And do you think they are connected, or do you think they are completely independent between them?
It's just one body, so they are the same.
So
They are
if
not the same.
they're
There's a correlation.
related.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh. So your notion of strength is, if you have a strong body, probably, or the odds of getting a strong mind are bigger, because I would say, my opinion now, I would say the training, the way to develop this strength is quite the same.
Hmm.
Is way, as you already said, related to resistance.
Hmm. Yeah.
So if you want to develop your physical strength, you have to resist longer or more, like
Hmm.
resist to more weight or move more weight or things like that.
Yeah.
And when you want to develop your emotional or your mental strength, the training is the same.
Hmm.
You want to develop the subject a little bit?
Yes. So if we think that a person wants to develop their physical strength,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and for example, they start doing any kind of physical exercise that
Mm-hmm.
requires strength, you because you're going to do a training, you're going to have a training plan, you're going to have a routine of training. By default, you are training your general discipline, your
Mm-hmm.
general mindset
Mm-hmm.
to overcome obstacles, to find hard things as a challenge and not just being defeated by it's hard and so I can't. And so like adding weights or adding repetitions or changing the levels of whatever you're training, it is great for your physical accomplishments, but there's a reflection on your mind. Like, if I can lift a good amount of weight, why cannot I enroll to a university that I want?
Mm-hmm.
If I have the discipline to train and to lift so much weight, I can also prepare my resume to apply for a new job
Mm-hmm.
and so on. There is this kind of correlation, but I think it's a lot connected with the training that is not just physical training. Okay.
I agree.
And I think someone that is physically active has a bigger chance of developing this other strengths in life. That doesn't mean that happens, but if you want, you are equipped with that.
It's not a straight line,
Mhm.
but they are related, because if you're working on your physical strength, your mind has to be together in this
Mhm.
in this path, right? Yeah.
Just give an example. Someone is very secure, safe in a job, but their competition is in sports.
Mhm.
So probably they just want to stay stable in their job life, their work life,
Mhm.
building that stability. Of course, there will be challenges, but keeping that momentum of that work-life balance stable, and their competition or their competitive skills are in sports. So that's why I'm saying that doesn't mean that someone that is like a high athlete is gonna to always work and trying to find a new job or whatever. There's no relation, but if you want, you are equipped with kind of, if you have a house and you have a fireplace, that doesn't mean you need to turn on the fireplace every night. You have it there, so that doesn't need to be used every day. So I think it depends on your profile, on your goals. But if you build physical strength, you will have the skills for the other strengths as well, and use as many as you want.
Yeah. And there is this paradigm many times that to develop your strength, you have to suffer. So, building your strength, it can be physical, emotional, or mental, is related to suffering.
Yeah.
And in our methodology, because it's ancestral, it's from that time and that place where the paradigm was different. We at that time, people there didn't believe, not that they were against that, but it was a different paradigm, a different way of seeing things, that this was not related to suffering, because suffering is a quite, I wouldn't say new, but it's maybe classical way of seeing things. It's related to the influence of church and etc. So our way of developing our strength, of being stronger physically and emotionally, they are not related to suffering. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think at the time, our references, our roots, there was no expression, no pain, no gain.
True.
No. We can always develop things in a pleasant way.
Yeah.
In a joyful way. I have a young student, and she's in college, and she's doing my classes, and she says, a lot of the things that I do here with you in the physical part of the class, they look alike. For example, for flexibility, the ballet, okay, the classical way of dancing.
Because she's a ballerina, right?
She used to be. She's not anymore, but she used to be. But it was all suffering, and you're just teaching me that I can do and achieve the same things in such a different way. I can have fun. I can really develop, and I'm not worrying about the end result. I enjoy the journey more than the final result.
Even though the result is the same, you are in a different path.
Yeah. And I think that's it. That is one of the biggest differences of the no pain, no gain, is just the achievement. It's just the end point. Okay. And for us, the way that we teach, we highlight the journey. So the focus is, and how it happens every day, the journey
Mhm.
of developing strength. And when you do that, you change your relation with the challenge,
Mhm.
the no pain, no gain, that you need to rewire your brain. Oh, I can still build up strength without the no pain, no gain. And
Yeah.
it's because we focus on the journey and not just on the end result.
Because in this way of thinking and living, it's all related to self knowledge, to self consciousness, to self development. So the journey is more important,
Yeah.
right? We everything is an excuse to understand one better than the final result. So if there is a way, even though it can be a little bit longer, but how are you going to pass through these moments?
Yeah.
And this is also very important, and this is how we work, and we try to bring our lives, because it's not just the physical training.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone earlier, and when we had this personal trainer and we used to train with her, and there was a lot of strength exercises, and she always told me, it's funny because you, at the end of the exercise, you are not using your physical strength. You are using your mental strength to finish the exercise. Even though you think or your body wants to give up, you turn on the other part of the functioning of your body and you stay there with your mental strength.
Yeah.
Right? It's automatic, and sometimes it's not just about the physical part of the exercises. And going back to this suffering or not suffering, sometimes it's just your internal dialogue. I know people that go to the gym every day, or are going to went to the gym today because, you know what, yesterday I had such a good dessert that today I have to suffer to burn those calories.
Yeah.
So I'll go to the gym and I'm gonna suffer because I deserve that. Yeah, because you deserve that, because that dessert was so good that now you have to suffer. But as we go to the gym because we want to develop the strength, the physical strength, the physical flexibility to be in our better version when we are 90s.
Yeah.
So maybe the results are the same, but the internal dialogue that you are having with yourself and the hormones that you are releasing, they are completely different. Because when you say, no, I'm going because of my discipline, because I want to have my better version when I'm old, or I'm gonna do my daily practice, I'm gonna develop my breathing skills, I'm gonna develop my mental skills, my brain neuroplasticity, doing my meditation, I'm gonna work on my flexibility and in my strength, because I wanna get old in the better way possible.
Yeah.
It's how you see the things, even though the things are the same.
Yeah.
And there is this really good example of this student that you used to have, that in his religion he would do fasting all the time. You want to talk about that? It's a really good, even though it's fasting, it's not strong strength exercises. It's a mental strength, right?
Yes. He shared with me that the impact of seeing things in a pleasant way or a joyful way change his traditions, how he, not changing the tradition, but how he would face fasting in his tradition that used to be suffering, and it stopped being suffering. It was just a day of fasting.
Mhm.
It was a light day for him, and not a tense, weighted,
Heavy.
heavy day. Yeah, okay, and that's beautiful to see that it's not the things, it's how you see, how you interpret, how
Mhm.
you feel them. And I think a very interesting way that we can kind of connect the dots here is that we are training mindfulness in strength
Mhm.
to be present. So it is a lot about the journey, it is about your attitude, it is about how you're facing your challenges. But one of the most important things when we talk about strength is many people push beyond their limits because they are not mindful of their limits. In the way that we teach, because we are always saying, be present, talk with your body, breathe,
Bring your attention to
bring your
that
attention.
area.
You're gonna feel your body talking to you and say, enough, stop, or give me more.
Mm.
I can do more. And this dialogue that happens, you can only be aware if you're mindful, even if you're doing something really heavy, extreme, strong to develop strength, still you can be mindful. And if you develop that mindfulness while training strength,
Mhm.
you're unstoppable.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I did a trial class yesterday, and we were seated on the floor, legs crossed. Just to start, I was talking, presenting myself, and then one of the new students asked me, "Oh, for this position, I know that there are some pillows to be more comfortable." I say, "Yeah, I know, but I rather for you to be in that position and listen to your knee if you need to change the position. You're going to learn more about yourself by paying attention to your knee when that's the moment than using a pillow
Mhm.
because you're going to delay that dialogue with a pillow.
Yes.
It will happen way later or only when you
Mhm.
take out the pillow and say, oh, it's so hard.
Yeah.
No, let's start like
Flat.
flat, kind of barefoot, straight on, and to see where is your starting point. But you have to develop that mindfulness. And it was so interesting that I said that, and then during the first 10 minutes of the class, a lot of people were mindful enough to change the position of the legs, for example, or to readjust the position of the torso. I said, damn, that's it. Even if they are not fully aware of how important that is, it is gold.
Mhm.
It is the best way to develop mindfulness. Hearing your body. I was doing breath work. The knee was starting to need attention. Change the position. Continue your breath work.
Yes.
As a teacher, you said, "Did it? I nailed it." And that's the same with strength. That you're doing a strong hold or you're doing a very hard position that requires a lot of strength. You need to have that level of mindfulness to see, should I stop? Should I go any further? What can I do now? You need to have that. If you're only thinking about the end goal, you're going to hurt yourself, you're going to suffer, you're going to enter no pain, no gain paradigm,
Mhm.
and you're going to lose mindfulness.
Mhm.
I think that is a good way to connect the dots of the things that we talked so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think?
And there is another thing that I wanted to talk about. I agree with you completely. That is, we have some tips, we have some techniques to hold the position longer, to improve our performance in some techniques. So there is this traditional for us, maybe it's the first time you hear about it, that is when it's hard, smile. Because when you smile, you're gonna bring to your brain the message that this is good, this is pleasurable. you can hold more because it's so good. You're even smiling.
Yeah.
So this is one of the tips that we can give to someone that wants to improve their strength skills without the suffering. And there are a few more. For example, myself, I like this internal dialogue, and I like, as we already talk here in the podcast, to add 1 second a day. Okay, so my objective today, if I can hold this position 2 minutes, I'm going to be 2 minutes and 1 second. And tomorrow, 2 seconds, and so on. This is a good way to improve your strength. So this internal dialogue. And also I use the breathing exercises. Okay, let me focus on my breathing. Let me bring more oxygen to my body. Let me inhale deeply so I can fill my lungs with air. I can improve my lungs capacity. At those moments, I like to work on my breathing exercises to help me to overcome obstacles or to overcome my limits. And I do that in my daily practice. I do that when I go to the dentist, and I do that when I'm doing my strength exercises at the gym. Let me use my breathing to overcome my limits and develop this strength. You have any other tips to share with us that you use in your daily life to improve your strength?
Yes, the mentalization, that mental exercise, that you project the direction of that exercise that you're doing right now.
Okay.
Like, I'm holding the plank position for 1 minute, but I'm visualizing myself in a few months holding for 10 minutes. Or I'm doing a very easy kakasana, like a strength position. But what I want is that to unlock that other ability or something harder. And I want to see myself, I'm doing this, I'm present here, but I know that this is connected to a major goal. It can be a longer hold, or for example, I'm doing those positions that you stay just on both hands on the floor, that we have several of those. And instead of doing that, I'm going to do it on the tip of my fingers. Even though I cannot do everything on the tip of my fingers, I'm doing this, but I'm imagining that later on, I'm going to evolve to this new version. So instead of having the hand on the floor, I'm going to have the tip of my fingers on the floor. So the mentalization of what I want to accomplish is important.
Nice.
Inflexibility is more common because I want to reach that my forehead will reach the knee. So I'm doing it's far, but I want to reach. I want to touch.
The intention.
And then you visualize. But with strength, it's the same thing. Use it the same way. How far are you want to go? How strong do you want to be? How new variations you want to unlock with this training now, right now. So mentalization is something that I would add as well. There are more ways of mentalizing. We can use colors and all that stuff. I think we can talk about that in another moment, but understand kind of, I'm here to there. And as a student, many times I'm here and I'm seeing my teacher doing it. Say, okay, I'm doing this, the easy version, but I want to do the hard version. So use the teacher as your
role model.
Okay, as a mentalization. Okay, I would like to do that way. It works same way.
Nice.
Just creating that mental picture that really helps to keep on track. I think it's you remind yourself, I'm doing this for that, I'm doing this for that, I'm doing this for that.
Beautiful, sweet. And I'd like to explore a little bit more the idea of disconnecting the pain from the suffering, because sometimes it's painful, but you're not necessarily suffering with that. and we learn that if it's hurting, if you have pain, you're suffering. And I like to give the example of the tattoos, that a lot of people like to do tattoos, and you are doing, and it hurts.
Hurts, yeah.
There's pain here, but I'm not suffering because it's just an art that I want to put in my body. So I don't have to suffer, even though, okay, it's hurting, I feel pain, but it's okay. It's not related to some illness that I'm developing. So if you train to understand that not every pain is related to suffering, it's going to be a lighter way to this journey. Another example, we were traveling with a lot of commitments, and we were out of the gym for almost 2 months. And then when I came back,
damn.
Oh my God.
What a nightmare.
Yeah, like my body was sore from the exercises that I didn't do for 2 months. And the following day, oh my goodness. But it's okay because I'm not suffering. It's not that I have something that is preventing me. It's just going back to exercise. So you don't give that big importance for that thing because it's just something. So you're not feeding your suffering. Right?
Yeah. And I think when you are able to differentiate the exercise, the pain from the exercise, for example, if you do a long hold that use a lot of the abdominal strength, you're going to feel what is considered some kind of pain, okay? Elevations or a lot of abdominal contraction, you feel that strongly, but it's not an acute pain. It's not something that is pinching you, or so you will be able during a class to see, okay, I realize there are a few painful exercises or the holds that are long and then they are really challenging, but it was never sharp. And we don't work with that sharpness of pain. What can happen is if you lose awareness and you do something wrong, then damn it, okay, like you push over the limits and you feel that, oh, now I got it. But we work in that other layer of without the sharpness of that strong pain. No, we work in the other layer, which is that active, engaging muscle stimulation that our brains interprets as pain. Okay, but it's something that you can sustain for a while, that you can hold for a while, not forever. And so you will be able, when you do that and you have the right mindset, say, okay, I'm working my strength. It is challenging. There's a bit of pain, but not over. It's not too much. And then that's what you said. Then you can learn with that. You can evolve with that. Okay.
Yeah, of course. Okay, Nuno, very good. Thank you for your thoughts. It's always very rich to talk to you. I really like to see. I really like to hear about your point of view of life and our techniques. And if you want to join us, if you want to try, you have 14 days trial, 14 days free trial. You're going to see the link here. We are waiting to see you, to overcome your limits, to overcome your strength. So enroll here, 14 days free trial. Join us. I'm sure you're going to like it. And see you next week. Bye-bye.
Have a mindful week.
Yay!
Bye-bye. Stay strong. Be flexy. Be mindful.